What up? Y'all already know what it is. Y'all already know is what it is, what it is, what it's always gonna be. Now, as we get ready to put out the next episode, I said, man, we gonna start getting back on live. So tonight is the very first explanation right now. All right. I know we like giving explanations later, but we're going to break down, bridge the gap between episode 2 and episode 3. All right. Last week, episode 2, we talked about the best man. We talked about why we all addicted to secrets, and those secrets that we think are protecting our brothers are actually just protecting their patterns. All right. Harper Stewart, we called him the masked man because that's what he is in his real life. You know, that weekend he wanted to be the best man, but in all actuality, he was a masked man in that sense. So if you missed that, right, I need you to go back and listen to the replay. Listen to it a couple of times. Get back at me. All right, so look, I got to dive into this, right? I seen a comment, right? And I said I was going to dive into it. I seen a comment that said, sometimes my boys are the only one that knows the real me. I have to challenge that. Okay? If your boys only know the real you, but your woman only knows the resume you are not living one life. You are living a double feature. And I think what it is when I say that, you're living two different lives. You're running afoul both ways. And you're going through things that you don't necessarily understand what you're going through. So if your homies know you better than your woman, you might have to question yo what you prefer. Straight up, because I don't think there is any dude that should know you better than your woman. If that's the case, then yeah, I don't know. You might be swinging for the wrong team or whatever. But anyway, I did say that, yeah. But one thing that I will say about this, though, there is a gap. Okay, you are performing for her, inventing them. It's not how that works. That's not how it's supposed to work. You are eventually turning a gap into a canyon. I think what it is I can't vent to my homies and not vent to my lady. Like that don't sit right with me. And I think but here's the thing though, it is a scary world. Now, if your homies know you better than your lady, like I said, you might be playing for the wrong team. But in that same sense, if you with a woman that you can't be vulnerable with, if you with a woman that you can't open up to, if you with a woman that you can't be yourself around, that's not the woman for you. All right, that's not the woman for you. And I ain't here to be funny. Well, in a sense I am, but that's not the woman for you. And it's not to say that, you don't love her and you don't like her and you don't care about her. It's just saying that if you can't be that person, that's not your person. Straight up. That's not your person. I can't sugarcoat that. That's not your person. Drop a comment down, drop a 1 in the comments, man, or drop a comment if you ever felt like you had to hide your struggle from your partner just to keep the black excellence image. And then on the same note, drop a 2 if you're tired of wearing that mask. You want to be your true, genuine self. Let's talk about it, though. All right, so one thing I didn't get into episode 2, accountability. Isn't just about calling out your brother's actions, right? It's not just about calling out your brother's sin and it's not just about calling out your people. I don't ever want nobody to feel like that. Yeah, accountability is cool, but accountability works both ways. It's not just a one-way street. You don't work with accountability just it's about holding yourself accountable too. Are you holding yourself accountable? Do you move in a way that when you try to hold someone accountable that they can look back and be like, you know what, that's a very honorable person that is trying to hold me accountable. Oh, that's a very honorable person that's trying to hold me accountable. Because he's got morals, he's got ethics. He can move. He moves in a way that screams, hold me accountable. You know what I'm saying? That's generally what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? It's about calling them out on their potential too, though. This gap that I just said, it existed because the brothers were afraid of the truth would kill the vibe, but the truth doesn't kill the vibe, it kills the lie. All right. And you need to be lie free before you walk into a dark room that we're about to enter on tonight's episode. You need to be lie free before you walk into this, because this next episode tonight that drops tonight, well, tomorrow at midnight, we definitely walking into a dark room. Okay. We're coming, we're stepping past accountability. See, a lot of times people will try to hold everybody else accountable to live from their inaccountability. That was me. I was definitely him. I had a lot of skeletons in my closet. And I guess how I fought some of those skeletons were to critique other people. And then sometimes when you look at your homies, them your homies. So they gonna look to you. They gonna, listen to you to a certain degree. But if you ain't out there practicing what you preaching, how much of a homie am I to you? How can you sit here and try to give me advice about coming clean and not cheating and not lying, and you out here and you cheating and you lying and you playing games? Like that accountability factor doesn't just apply for you giving to other people. So you got to look at it. Are you being that same accountable person to yourself? Are you moving in yourself in that way? You know what I'm saying? But as I said earlier, if your girl is not your safe space as far as what's going on inside of you, and you trust your homies more than you trust your girl, that's not your girl. It's not your girl. Straight up. Like, I don't care how many years I've known my homies and my brothers, whoever. I don't know. I don't care how many years I've known them. All right. If I've known them for that long, and it doesn't change the fact that I still gotta lay with this woman. I still gotta grind and get it out the mud with this woman. There's a difference between your homies and your woman. And if you confide with your homies more than your woman, then you should go be with your homies. Go be with them. Real talk. All I know how is to speak on it. All I know is how to move and how to grind. So if I'm not dealing with the person that how I move and how I grind with, then you just gotta find a different person. A lot of people ain't being real, which if you can't trust somebody that you're with to be yourself, find somebody else. Real talk. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times people will stay in the dark with things. Once you come into a dark room like we about to do in tonight's episode, we paint a different picture. So once you come into this dark room, you gotta be 100%. And a lot of times people ain't 100%. They'll lie to get what they want. They'll tell you whatever you want to hear. They'll move how they want you to move. And then once they done moving like that, they gonna move around. That is the balance of all of this. And that's the reason why a lot of these relationships and shit be going down the drain. And I'm just speaking about me, like what I've seen. I can't speak for everybody. But when that saying is your woman is the realest person on your team, I've heard it a lot. So I'd have to believe that there is some truth to it, you know? So working just the way we working, you got to be real with yourself. You can't sugarcoat. You can't listen. And I'm practicing what I'm preaching nowadays, because I used to be the person to get out here and tell you how you should be and how you should move and how you should act. And I'm not doing that same shit for me. So this is where I'm really practicing what I'm preaching at the same time, you know, because I want to be accountable for myself. We're moving from the wedding chapel though. We're moving from the best man. Now we're moving into the dark room of the photograph, right? We're going from the accountability gap to the unfiltered lens. See, once you hold your brothers accountable, you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to ask, who am I when the lights come off, when the lights come on, when the cameras is off? Because everybody on social media is something different. I rarely see, and this ain't a shade or a diss to nobody, but I rarely see anyone who comes off of social media the same person that they are on it. It's like social media magnifies, you know, who you are. Now, granted, you know, when you get around people in real life and you see people post and you see things and you looking like, hey, my mans, I know you. Styles, what up? I know you. You know what I'm saying? I know you. You're not being who you really are. So I'm not saying that them people, that everybody on social media does that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying in real life, people are not being themselves. So when you step into a realm now, right? The next episode is about being yourself once that mask is off. We talked about the mask in episode 2. Episode 3 is going to pull that back even more before we jump into episode 4. But episode 3 is going to make you feel like, yeah, when you dealing with somebody, you got to prove that shit. Like, you got to be yourself. You can't talk to me about your resume and your accomplishments and what you've done. Great, cool. You did that. Talk to me about what you're going to do now in this situation. All right. Talk to me about who you really are. Don't hide behind your successes, because that's how a lot of relationships and things start off. Everybody's bragging about their accomplishments and what they've done and how they've done. That's the first mistake. This is true. But see, social media has become the end all be all, though, Styles. Like, social media has become the end all be all. Like, if you ain't popping on social media, they don't give a fuck. I've seen that shit. You've seen that shit. So now what I'm asking is, who are you when the lights go off? Who are you when the lights come on? When the camera drops, when the mic is turned off, when you are leaving your job, when you're leaving wherever you're leaving, who are you? Just who are you? Strip all the money, the cars, the clothes, and everything down. Strip all that down. Who are you? Okay? This next episode is going to talk about that, as we, like I said, new episode drops tonight. And, you know, this is just me coming on here giving y'all a bridge from 2 to 3. And then next week it'll be from 3 to 4. So we'll do this every week, you know. But last week we talked about holding people accountable. This episode we talking about holding yourself accountable. All right? You got to ask yourself, everybody knows who you are. You know, everybody know me and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, last week was about who you walking with. This week is about who you waking up as. Who you waking up as? Who are you when you lay down, and who are you when you wake up? You cannot be, as I talked about last week, you cannot have a best man circle if you're still a hidden man at home. So I think these episodes fit perfectly hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we've seen things that change us. You are the own curator of your own life. You know what I'm saying? But see, I'm more into the mess ups. Like, everybody wants to be perfect to their friends, to their family, to who, yeah. That's exactly what it is. I'm not raising you. I'm not raising you as an adult, come as you are. But if I see you not being you, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it, though. Hear me when I say this, right, Styles? Hear me when I say this. Everybody, and they call it code switching. Okay? They call it code switching. Everybody has a switch where they're not the same with everybody they interact with. Like, the qualities and the personality are the same. I'm not treating my woman like I treat my homies. I'm not treating my homies like I would treat at a job. You know what I'm saying? There are different levels. You're still being you. You're still yourself. You just same with kids. I love my kids. Let me say this. I love my kids, right? I teach them in different ways, though. You know what I'm saying? I express that love in different ways. They are not the same kid. So they all need different nudges. You know what I'm saying? You love them the same, but they all need different nudges. I don't, you know what I'm saying? They all get treated and loved equally, but some you got to wear gloves because you're more hands-on with. Some you just, hey, listen, you got it. Go on out there and push the world. You know what I'm saying? Like my oldest, he's 18. He's in the world. He's in college. He's living life. He rarely needs my assistance or his mom's assistance because he feels like he's got a good sense of the world. Now, these other kids I got, they need me for everything just about, you know? So there's a difference. But who are you and what you are and how you move when you wake up, that's going to be the key. Now, tonight's episode, when we drop, man, listen, it's inspired by the photograph. I actually love this movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. What I've started doing is I will sit back. I think I watched that movie about 3 times just this week alone because I wanted to make sure that there was something that I didn't miss as I got to writing the notes for the show. But that movie right there, right? That's the perfect example of who are you outside of your successes. All right. When they jump, definitely rewatch it, bro. When they started, remember when they first met? They jumped off about all their successes. I watched it on Peacock. I watched it on Peacock. And I watched it on Smash TV. If y'all have Smash TV, y'all can watch Smash TV. But if you don't have Smash TV, go watch it on Peacock. I think the crazy thing about that is one thing that I loved about this movie was you see it in 2 different lives. You see it in present day and you see it in modern, and not modern, but you see it in past tense. In order to understand the past, in order to understand the present, you had to look at her past, which I thought was dope. Like, they really put that movie together in a sense. But listen, man, look, one thing I will say before I jump off of here, like I said, this is just me bridging the gap and bringing, what I've learned, about movies and things like that. And I just wanted to put that into relationships. We're going to be doing a lot of cool things jumping in. We got this live show that we putting together as we speaking. So there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts right now. But I just still never wanted to step back, and I wanted to not forget, what I've been doing for the last couple months. And that's coming on live and having fun with the live. So we're going to keep that going. Brand new episode drops tonight. Well, Monday at midnight. And then we getting ready to go crazy with the content, because the content is definitely here. I'm definitely working on content every single day. Shout out to my boy Styles, man, for popping in. Real talk, Mike Thomas, what up, my guy? I think a lot of times too, though, and to jump back into this before I jump off, I'm working on myself. So if I'm out here holding my brothers accountable, I gotta hold myself accountable too. I can't be out here telling y'all how to adapt and adjust to the world, and I ain't taking my own advice. So I woke up really lately with the mindset of I can't be 2 different people. I just want to be myself. So if I'm out here giving people advice or talking about being better, then I truly have to be better too, because otherwise we ain't gonna respect the messenger. Like, yeah, that's cool, you helping out everybody else, and but you ain't helping out yourself. So we ain't respecting the messenger, because the messenger ain't even respecting what he's saying. So lately I've been in the mood of respecting the elements. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I'm trying to push, everything that I'm going with, everything that I'm looking towards, I'm looking in the mindset of I want to be right. So listen, y'all already know what this is, right? If you don't know what this is, you're getting ready to find out in a couple of hours. Brand new episode. I'll explain all this later. Season 4. All right, we back. If you ain't heard episode 1 and 2, I need you to go tap in and check that out. But listen, while you at it though, right? Black excellence is key. All right. And like I said earlier, the comment was, my man said, sometimes my boys are the only ones that know the real me. And that right there is the reason why I did last week's episode, because if you ain't being yourself, who the hell are you? Y'all already know what this is, man. I'll tap back in with y'all. New episode on the way.